amazing weekend. I hope your weekend has been great so far, whether you have been driving, working, delivering, or just chilling, right? I'm down at the SoFi Stadium. The score currently is Raiders 3, Chargers 3. Not in the game, but right outside waiting for private clients. Now, a lot of drivers have asked me to address unaccompanied minors. What is that? Well, that's a kid under the age of 18 that gets in your car without a parent and says, hey, take me here, take me there. And there's a few things, A, I want to warn you about. B, want to pass on, because you could possibly get yourself into a lot of trouble as a rider or a driver. Happy Sunday, everyone. And any driver who gets a request or knows that they're close to a middle school, right? Not a high school. Even a high school, there are a couple of 18-year-olds. Not everyone at a high school is 18, right? They're usually 15, 16, 17, and a couple of 18-year-olds. But if you're in an area and you get a ping to a middle school, please do me a favor, ignore it, right? Because if you are driving to a middle school, 99% chance you are picking up one or maybe two or more kids under the age of 18. And the moment they're in your car, that's really when all the legal problems happen, right? Because A, should something happen to the person, to that rider, to that kid, God forbid, in an accident, you're on the line, right? If you get into an accident and they somehow find out that kids were in your car, Uber and Lyft will never have your back. They will say, hey, well, you should have known. I mean, we had no idea who got into your car. You should have known. And that can very well be the reason for not paying out, or for them not covering you insurance-wise, or even your insurance carrier. Once they find out that you had unaccompanied minors in your car, the bill's on you, buddy or lady. So don't be desperate for those few dollars because you happen to be close to a middle school, or you pull up and these kids want to get into your car. It's an absolute no-no. It's a situation that can get you into so much trouble. If something were to ever happen, injury to that individual, to that kid, you're in trouble, right? If you get into an accident, your car's in trouble, right? If you, if word gets out with Uber and Lyft, they won't have your back. It means deactivation. And while I say all of this, I'm really appealing, I think, mostly to the parents, right? To the riders that are booking these Ubers for their kids. Yeah, we understand you can't take them to school. Yes, we understand you may be a little bit lazy and you just want to order a trip for your kid who's under 18. But understand what you signed, the terms and conditions that you signed as a rider. So parents, beware, a parent rider. Don't order a vehicle for your child. You'll have a lot of problems on your plate if things go wrong, right? So it usually the troubles start with the parent because A, they've extended some privileges to their underage kid, or they're just too stupid and just ignore the terms and conditions and order the Uber or the Lyft for their unaccompanied minor. Dear parent, you should know that if your kid's 17 years old, you need to be in the car with them, right? You need to be in the car with them. I cannot make it more clear than that, right? So this whole unaccompanied minor thing, very disturbing that Uber is sending out messages to the riders who are misinterpreting this campaign Uber is promoting that, hey, students, it's going to get busy. Drivers, you need to get out there and pick up students. Now, students doesn't always mean over 18-year-old college students or university students. Parents may take that advertising the wrong way. Oh, students. Oh, okay. Maybe they changed the terms and conditions. Maybe I can order an Uber or Lyft for my child and have them get picked up at school. So, yes, parents, you've been receiving these messages from Uber lately, but don't fall for it, right? Because at the end of the day, this is a desperate attempt for Uber or Lyft to get a couple of extra trips in with kids in your car, and they will never ever take responsibility. They will always point the fingers at you and say, you should have known, or you should have known that was a kid. But the strange thing is that if you look at all the middle schools around the United States and abroad, right, those should automatically be X'd out, right? Those should be venues or locations that any driver worldwide should not be able to pick up at a middle school, because there is no 18-year-old middle schooler that I know of, unless they've failed school several times and are doing it over and over and over again, right? So Uber should, the moment they should cancel, Lyft should cancel any parent that is trying, or any child that has a phone, maybe using the parent's account and is trying to get a trip from a middle school. All of those middle schools should be X'd out. Now, if you are a licensed driver, for example, the guy driving this big vehicle there, I'll guarantee you that's a private driver with a TCP. There's the TCP in the back of the car, right? Now, he could fill an entire Mercedes Sprinter up with kids because he's licensed to do so, right? So if you're a private driver or a livery driver or driver for hire, and you have your state licensing, like the TCP in California, you can drive kids all day long. That's what I do. That's why so many, I would say, responsible parents are booking me, because they know that in my vehicle, their kids are covered. All the liability is covered by that commercial insurance, because it also allows 18-year-olds, under 18, 15, 16-year-olds, group of 14-year-olds to travel in my vehicle legally, right? Not illegally as an unaccompanied minor on Uber and Lyft. And Uber and Lyft know this, but they sort of like, they look away, they pretend, oh, it's not happening. They will gladly accept the money. Now, to you guys, I've been speaking here nonstop for 8 minutes. Let's give everybody a shout out. We have Raider fans on the left going to the stadium. Game's already started, so these guys are arriving a little bit late. But yeah, it's going to be an exciting game. Chargers against Raiders. Who do you have your money on? Now, please do share. Mark Borges from Las Vegas. Brian Johnson. Where's Brian from? Good day, Brian. To you guys, to you girls, your families, I hope you are all well. Oh, Rideshare Warrior Rick is in the house. Good to see my good friend Rick. Shout out to Rick and fam. King Will from New York in the house. Got the East Coast represented here. Orlando, Florida. Must be super hot and humid today. I'm sitting in the car. It's 90 degrees. 90. And, I don't know if you guys saw those threats that Uber is sending out about that air conditioning. Oh, you could get deactivated. Riders know that if they want to have all these premium upgrade services, hey, there's a thing called Uber Comfort, right? Don't be cheap. Go and order Uber Comfort, right? You can boss that drive around. It's too hot, too cold. That's what Uber Comfort does. Pamela Norwood is in the house. Parents, since I've been driving close to almost 4 years, that they use Uber to get their kids to school. I purposely, since I get those requests that they'll ask for an ID. No ID, no ride. I like it, right? And hey, sorry, if you don't have an ID, if you cannot prove your age to me. I mean, meanwhile, you know that they're 14 or 13 or 15 and they're trying to pull their shit in the car. Oh, I'm 18. Bullshit, you're 18, right? Show me you don't quite say it like that. You don't say bullshit, you're not 18. But if you have an ID and you can prove to me that you're 18, sure, come along for the ride. Otherwise, please go and tell your parents to read the terms and conditions of Uber and Lyft that they signed, that they should abide by. What are terms and conditions? Oh yeah, you as a 14-year-old wouldn't understand that. Go and ask your parents, right? King Will says, everybody should check their insurance to see if they can carry an underage minor in their vehicle. Some insurance companies do, some don't, right? And even if they do, King Will, you're still going to get into a ton of trouble if you get into an accident, because then the lawyers get involved and the attorneys see an opportunity and say, hey, well, you should have known. You should have not allowed that under 18. So even if your insurance allows minors in your car, you could still run into a quagmire. You could run into a mountain of problems with Uber and Lyft if your little kid in your car gets injured or you get into an accident. It's not worth it. Now, that's why I say in the title, you got to be a fairly desperate driver, right? Listen to me. You got to be a fairly desperate driver if you are continuously picking up children and you ask no questions like, oh, I'll take them because it's money. And you know what? You'll make money that month, and you might make money the next month and the next month and the next month. And then wait till you have one accident, or wait until that child in your car gets injured. Because then you are in a world of pain financially. You're going to be paying for the rest of your life, especially if a kid gets hurt or injured or killed, worst case scenario, killed in your car. I don't even want to go there, but it happens, right? So it's a no-no. It's an absolutely no-no. And even those desperados that allow kids in their car, I've warned you in this video, right? If you want to keep on making money and having unaccompanied minors in your car, you don't have to listen to me. But don't come crying when the shit hits the fan. And parents, you've heard me say this in this video. There are terms and conditions which guide your account, meaning no under 18-year-old may be in our car without you, unaccompanied, right? So you've been warned. If you want to do it and the shit hits the fan, don't come crying to this channel and say, oh, I should have known. I should have watched out a little bit more. No, too late. David Singh says Uber is still holding off a trip payment of $46 from August the 28th. My app is staying off until I get paid. Look, if you are waiting around, David, for that $46, it ain't going to happen. You got to take the battle to them. You got to make a lot of social media noise, and it's principle. It doesn't matter if it's $4.60, $46, or $46,000, right? The bottom line is, if they're effing you over this money, you go after it, right? That's what I did. I mean, I was owed roughly $960,000 of unpaid referrals when they pulled the plug. I went after them. I'm still in court, right? And they pay. They'll pay. You just have to be relentless. You cannot give up. You got Eric, UFC is in the house. Uber and Lyft should be ashamed for doing this. Yeah, they should be ashamed for marketing themselves to parents now, saying, oh, it's a busy season. Make sure you are ready for your students. I mean, students could be kids. And drivers, don't fall for this nonsense, right? Oh, there are trips out there. It's getting busy again. Students are back. Well, what? Students at school, students at college. It's a very misleading campaign. Mark says advisory, explicitly lazy parents, not a bad tahini idea. Yeah, I mean, if you lazy parents that don't want to drive their kids, right? Okay, I get it. You need someone. You don't want to spend money. You don't want to get a private driver, and you're going to take a quick shortcut. You're going to give your kid your phone or the privileges. They order something, and then I'm just saying, if things go wrong, they go wrong in a big way. Brandon says, answer my question. I don't know what your question is, buddy. Oh, can we take legal action against Uber for telling us not to take minors, but yet encouraging minors to use Uber? It's a tough one. It's a tough one. If for some reason, let's say a minor ended up in your car and something happens, God forbid, I mean, yes, your attorney representing you would go after Uber and say, well, you know what? You put this individual in my client's car. Uber's going to turn around and say, well, you should have known the terms and agreements. We can't control that. Only the driver can control that, right? So, but can you just turn around and flat out sue Uber and Lyft over this? No, not until something happens, not until something goes wrong, right? I mean, there has to be like a damage, right? There have to be damages either to your car or personal injuries. Then, believe me, then the attorneys get involved. It's Moose says, what does a driver do when they go to a high school and the person you are picking up indicates that they are 18 and they look like they're 18 years old? Well, I mean, Pamela made a good, somebody made a good suggestion there. Why not ask for the ID? When the guy says, well, I'm 18, I mean, can you prove that? You have show me your student ID, right? The student ID should have the year of birth on it, right? If they have a California driver's license, it should have the year of birth on it, right? It's not that complicated. But face value, am I going to believe someone if they say, hey, I'm 18? No, I'm not going to believe them if they're at a high school, definitely not at a middle school, absolutely not if they're in kindergarten, right? But it truly is up to you. It's really, really up to you to put your foot down or keep your doors closed. Sorry, buddy, I can't take you. You're under 18. No, I'm not under 18. Oh, well, do you have any proof? Yeah, I have my student ID. Let me show you. Okay, fine. He's 18, she's 18. Then you're fine, right? But everything else, you're looking for problems. Uber and Lyft should not be promoting this. Parents should be aware of the terms and conditions, and drivers should not be desperate. There's only those three factors out there. Uber and Lyft should not be advertising these services to parents and minors, right? Again, drivers should not be desperate and pick up at middle school or high schools, maybe, without the kid showing their identification. I don't even know if it's legal that the child has to show their identification. The kid may say, well, I don't have to show you identification. That's fine. You don't have to show me, but you're not getting into my car. I'm not taking a chance, right? Cancel, quick explanation to Uber and Lyft. Child was a minor. According to the terms and conditions of your own service, I could not allow this child in my car. Parents, the big fact that all starts with you. You have downloaded the Rider app. If you are giving your child the privileges, you are the culprit, right? If you are enabling this, you are the culprit, right? That's why, yes, you're signing 15, 20 pages of an agreement. 99.9% of the population do not read those terms and agreements. They just say, fine, I agree to this, I download the app, and the shenanigans start. The problems really start when things go wrong. So we've got 67 people in the house. Brian says, that's why I have a dash cam on at all times, but I still don't pick up no minors. That's great. And at the end of the day, the dash cam may save you. It's a good point you just brought up, right? If the kids flat out told you, hey, they're 18, they got in at a high school, you took their word for it. If the shit hits the fan, you have the faces of the kids in your car, it's pretty much your word against their word. They told me they were 18. Nice. Throw all your trash out the car. Nice one, buddy. Guy comes up, throws all the trash out of his car. Come on, man. Where do we live? Pigs? I kid you not. I mean, when I was in Europe, in Switzerland, I threw the trash back into the guy's car. Just throwing that. This guy just right now pulls up here, dumps all his trash out. Gets my blood boiling, right? Got 70 people in the house. Lindy says, I signed up with Driving Nanny, but they have taken 2 months now for a background check. I'm wondering. And again, like if you signed up for Driving Nanny or Hop, Skip and Drive, yeah, they do go through vigorous background checks. It should not take 2 months. Follow up with them, right? Follow up with them. If they have a competitor in town, you mentioned Idaho, say, listen, if you want me to drive for you, get back to me in the next 72 hours. Otherwise, I'm signing up with ABC. It's up to you, right? So that's sad that they haven't followed up with you. That means they have very too little customer service. You know, they're not valuing you as a driver. If you sign up for Driver Nanny and they're taking over 2 months, I mean, what type of a company is that, right? Krista says, is the cost of the TCP license and the cost of the commercial insurance worth it? And look, here's Krista, here's the answer to that one, and it's a completely valid question. If you are in California, the question is the cost of a TCP and the cost of the commercial insurance. And by the way, the commercial insurance is way more expensive than the TCP license. The TCP license, yes, you probably will be in for $800 to $1,000. You got a whole bunch of paperwork to do. 60 to 90 days later, you got the TCP, right? So that's sort of like a upfront cost there, $800 to $1,000. May cost you another $250, $300 to form an LLC, a limited liability corporation, right? They will need that. Your commercial insurance will need that. And the commercial insurance can easily run you $500, $600, $700 and upwards per month. Now, is it worth it? If you know how to market yourself, if you are in a city like Chicago or LA or Miami or New York or any of those big cities where it's busy and there are enough riders, clients out there, I would say absolutely all day long. You got to start getting your clients, your private clients. You have to start getting referrals. You cannot be shy to go after Uber and Lyft riders and convert them to be your own clients, right? You got to be aggressive. And by the way, the reason why you are minimizing the risk, if you are going out and getting your commercial insurance and you've signed up for your, let's say, TCP in California, which is probably one of the most expensive licenses to get in California, right, along with the LLC. Remember, if you are on the Uber and Lyft platform, whatever car you just got licensed, whether it's a Suburban, whether it's a 550 Mercedes, right? Remember, you can always rely on the Uber and Lyft, okay? Slim pickings, 50-50, or maybe 60% for the company, 40% for you. But, you know, that will cover your costs and more. You will still be making a profit at the end of the month if you do it the right way. If you have if you are on the Uber Black SUV platform, if you are on the SUV and Lux platform with Lyft, they're way more lenient. They don't really look at the paperwork so aggressively, right? And then your third tier private clients, you're building them out gradually. 6-12 months later, you're starting to have a base of clients. You can always fall back on your Uber and Lyft that you can switch on any time to bring in money, to pay for that license, to pay for that commercial insurance, until you have recruited enough private clients, right? In my case, probably over 300 clients right now, right? And I very, very seldom have to switch on Uber or Lyft, right? To switch on Uber Lux or or Uber SUV, black SUV, maybe only if you've dropped someone off at an airport and you sort of like heading back home and you're willing to maybe pick up another client in between. But the money's in private trips, ladies and gentlemen. It really is. Sorry, I took a long time to answer that one. David says, cancel, collect, and drive. Easy money. Mark says, I literally put my car in a park, got out and picked up the trash and handed it to them. And they said, hey, you dropped this. Good. Yeah, you like, got to be careful. You know, if people pull up like this guy here and they dump all their trash out and you go up to them and say, hey, you threw your trash out, or like I did in Switzerland, I threw the trash back into the car. You got to be ready because trouble could be coming your way, because you remember at that moment you have exposed them, right? It's like you've pulled their pants down and you've exposed them to the public for who they are. It's garbage, trash people. The Devo Master says, happy Sunday. Got chauffeur's license, deciding whether to get commercial insurance tools. Many people ask me if I can drive them privately. See, if many people are already asking you to drive them privately, it means they like you, they cherish you, they enjoy driving with you, they feel safe, and it means you're giving them superior service. That's why people say, oh, do you also drive privately? In this gentleman's case, yeah, you're still shopping around for the commercial insurance, where you should really shop around because they vary from here to there, right? Commercial insurance can be ultra expensive. Don't just go for the very first one. Switch it up, change. In fact, on Monday, I'm going to be changing again some of my insurance. So if you have many people asking you for private rides, I want to explain the difference between rideshare and private rides. With private passengers, private clients, you are putting 100% of those monies into your company, into yourself. Yes, you have higher costs, higher deductions, right? But you're getting 100% of the pie. If you're driving on Uber and Lyft, probably talking 50-50 or 60-40, right? So it's a big difference. You just have to really learn all the ins and outs. Go check it out at Gig Rocket. I teach everything there. Looking at this muscle car coming down the road. Super excited to show you my Pontiac Firebird when it's ready. It's going to look beautiful. Let's see who else. Let's see what other messages. Lindy's in the house. Will says Krista's in the house. William Rodriguez is in the house. He says, it's in my experience, it's usually the parent ordering the ride for the minor, and the parent gets mad usually because I won't take the trip. Good for you. Expose that parent. Sorry, buddy, you should have known. I can't take your kid, right? Yeah, yes, they'll get mad and frustrated and maybe call you names. Say, listen, there's no reason to call me names. There's no reason to get mad. The only person you have to be mad with is yourself, because you are going against what you agreed to. You're going against the terms and conditions. You know the laws, or you should know the laws. If you don't know them, go and read. No unaccompanied minor gets in my car. Therefore, I am rejecting your child. Sorry, you need to go and do the homework. I'll tell him straight up. You know. Petty says, what's the score at SoFi? If somebody can, I don't want to switch in between because then my live stream goes, but what is the score between the Chargers and the LA Chargers and the Raiders right now? Oh, there it is. Diva says 10-3 for the Chargers. So the Chargers are leading 10-3. Interesting. Could be a pretty tight game. Could be a tight game. But man, those Raiders are die-hard fans. I saw way more Raider fans than Charger fans at an LA stadium. These Raider fans, they travel from far. They are die-hard fans. Good for them. Good for them. So we have 70 people in the house. Shout out to you all. Sunday, bloody Sunday, right? Crazy hot in the car, 90 degrees. Got 41. If we could smash the like button. And I really want to get some feedback from you guys. I mean, you're the drivers. You've dealt with minors. You've dealt with with crazy parents. You've dealt with unaccompanied minors. You've been to schools. You've been to high schools and middle schools. How do you handle it? How do you handle it? Or are you like the yes man? I'll take anyone. Petty in the house. Do you take absolutely anyone and everyone in your car? Or do you actually say no to minors? Or do you actually ask for an ID? If you ask for an ID, does it usually work? Do they produce the ID? Are they reluctant to? Do they get the parents involved? There's my one bro there. I just saw him. He usually hooks me up here by the SoFi with parking. Cool guy. I'm one street away from the SoFi. This guy usually hooks me up. He lets me park in his house. And I bring him, I buy him drinks and food. And he's like one street away from SoFi. He lets me park there. So which is a bonus for my clients because they don't have to walk 5-6 streets through these neighborhoods. Most of them do not show their ID if they're under 18. Yeah, because they don't want, Lisa, you're right, because they don't want to feel like fools. They don't want to be exposed. They may lie to you and say, hey, you know what, I'm 18, but they are unwilling to show their ID. That's good feedback. Look, I don't have these problems with my TCP license, right? I can take kids. I make a boatload of money with kids. I had a group of kids last night. 1 o'clock in the morning, I picked them up. And then I did the kids drop off. I did 5 kids I dropped off. Picked them up at 1 a.m. I charged them $200, right? And it took me 35 minutes for dropping these kids off in the neighborhood. But guess what? I set the alarm. I drove 10 minutes to pick them up at this party. And I spent another 25 minutes dropping off 4 or 5 kids, right? I charged $200. And I said, you know what? If you're not willing, and I know how much money these people have, it's nothing for them. But if they're not willing to do that, then they must try and get an Uber at that time of the morning. But these parents know they cannot have their kids travel with an Uber because all of those kids that were in my car last night, talking at 1 o'clock in the morning, they were all under 18. In fact, they were under 17, right? So the parents pay a premium. That was quick $200 for 35 minutes. Set the alarm, got up, put my jeans on, shirt, drove there 10 minutes. Kids were ready. Text them, hey, I'm here. Get in the car. Boom, boom, boom. 4 little stops in the neighborhood of Calabasas. 25 minutes later, 35 minutes total. I'm heading home. 40 minutes at most, the whole exercise. Charge them $200. Here's my bro that always hooks me up at the... I want to give him a shout out. Cool guy. There's my bro over there. This guy always hooks me up. He hooks me up with parking. It's hot, huh?
Hey.
Caliente. Do you want a water or something?
All right, I think about it.
Do you want some mints?
All right, I'll get a couple.
Yeah, man.
Thanks.
These are for you, my friend.
Oh, thank you.
I got 4 bags. Hey, thank you for the offer, huh?
Anytime.
Anytime. I appreciate you, man. You're the best. I appreciate you.
So when you're 709, whenever you need parking, you just hand.
Muchas gracias. I'll give you a holla and then I'll give you some cash. Thank you, my brother. Appreciate you, buddy. What's the score? Who's winning? Okay, bye. That's my boy. He always hooks me up here right by the SoFi Stadium. I mean, in fact, that's the SoFi Stadium right there, right behind me. Nicest guy. I just knock on the door and I say, hey, I'm in town. He lets me park in his parkway. I'm 1 street away from the stadium and it's an added extra bonus for my clients because they do not have to walk and they can save the parking pass. So they probably save $50 to $100 on parking, right? And I get VIP parking for my bro here. I bring him men's foods. I go to 7-Eleven. I bring him chicken, whatever he wants, right? Because he always takes care of me, right? So one hand feeds the other. Prom season, big money. Big money. Cruise and limousine, big money. right? Like my party bus at this time make big money, right? Big groups, proms, homecoming, you market yourself accordingly. It's cash. It's cash. Let's see, who do we have here? William Erazo's in the house. Yeah, with the commercial insurance, I'll do it, but I don't have one here in Ohio. You got to first find out and establish if you have a market. Where are you in Ohio? There is a school bus driver shortage, which is true. No, I'm not querying that. I'm not fighting the fact that there is a school bus driver shortage, but that's still not the excuse for the parents to call an Uber or Lyft, right? And that for you is a great opportunity as a private driver. Hola from San Diego in the house. Hombre, burro in the house. Who else? We've got Cruise and Limousine. We were seeing tons of rideshare cars during this last prom season. Good. Cleveland, Ohio. It's a big city, man. You should get your private company going. Dallas Cowboys in the house. There he is, Michael Fortner, representing the Dallas Cowboys in the house. How are they doing? How are they doing? How's your team doing? I don't know if anybody has an update for us on the Raiders Chargers game. I'm going to be heading down to Long Beach tomorrow. I'm going to be working on my Pontiac. All day tomorrow. I mean, that sucker is expensive. I did everything with Hotchkiss Racing, suspension 400 engine in it, bigger carbs, racing pipes. I mean, I dropped some serious cash into that vehicle. But at the end of the day, you're looking at about 400 horsepower. So that baby should be fast. And my son wants it badly. Shout out to my son, Ryan, who's having a phenomenal season, basketball-wise and club basketball. Proud of you, my son. Shout out to my son, Dylan, at Berkeley. Proud of you for getting into Berkeley. Shout out to my beautiful daughters, Gwen and Danu, for just being amazing girls, amazing teenagers, doing well at school. And shout out to my son, Liam, who is doing phenomenal at school. I mean, lucky parent to have 5 kids that are just, you don't have to fight with them. You don't have to explain. They know what to do. They know how to represent themselves in life. And what a joy, especially, when we were traveling in Europe together. Not a single fight. They're all 10-3 charges still. Devo Mice is giving us updates. A shout out to your children, whoever has kids, young or old, shout out to them. Give them a big hug. Tell them how much you love them, how much you support them. Treat them well. Listen, we live once. We live once, ladies and gentlemen, right? Enjoy every day with your family. Lyft screwed me over for the last time. They stole $20 from me. Indy, fight back, honey. Fight back. Get those boxing gloves out, Indy. It's boxing time. Chris says, thanks for the info. I really looking into it. You're in SFO. Cool. Indy, fight back. Get that $21 back. If the company owes me 21, I get 210 from them. I always multiply my intensity by 10. Cowboys versus Tampa is 7:30. Nice. Looking forward to that one. I'm sure you're excited. That's great. Chris says, right now I do Wings and Lyft, Black Excel. Just worried about taking that TCP jump, but I do try to recruit Lyft people over to Wings as much as possible. So, Blazin' Luke says, heat map. Look, starting any company is associated with a little bit of risk, but there is so little risk if you're going out and you're paying for your license and you're paying for your commercial insurance. The risk is reduced so much to a fraction if you are on the Uber and Lyft platform, because those are platforms you can always fall back on. You could do XL, you can do SUV, you can do Lux, as you start building out your clientele. Yes, those clientele are not built overnight. It's not a 24-hour thing, right? It's more like a 24-month thing, right? Be prepared to slog it away for 24 months. But I will assure you, if you are willing to take that step, right, you'll get really, really good training from me. If you're willing to take that step, 24 months later, you will be reaping the rewards, right? You go out and you sow those seeds. 2 years later, you have multiple clients, multiple referrals, and and 100% of every trip is going into your bank account. It hurts me to see some of these splits. I get probably get 300 text messages and emails every single day. I remember this morning, hey, the rider told me they paid $134. Of that, $37 ended up in my account. So they went out, Uber charged the client $134. The rider disclosed that to the driver. The driver then showed the rider, hey, look what I made. I made $37. That ain't 50-50, my friends. That's about 70-30, right? 70 for the company, 30 for you. Maybe 75 for the company, 25 for you. It's a disaster. Got 62 people in the house. 49, help me get to 50. Smash that like button, right? Smash that like button. There we go, 49. San Francisco 49ers, now we're in 50. Wonderful, wonderful. Chicago's in the house. Scott Robinson representing Chicago. Lisa says, go Steelers. Big Steeler fan there. Wonderful. David says, I set my destination filter from Oceanside to John Wayne, and Uber gave me a ride to LAX from Oceanside. Destination filter has never worked properly. That is true. That is true, right? That is true. I mean, I would cancel that one. So, sorry. Something came in between. But if it throws you out close to where you want to go, John Wayne, great. If it's taking you to LAX, forget about it. Sorry, I got to cancel that one. I mean, your intention was to go from Oceanside to John Wayne. Maybe you live in Irvine, right? So you want to end your day there. And then they throw you out at LAX, which is another hour north from Orange County. Doesn't make sense. So yeah, you're right. Destination filter does not always work. What pisses me off more than anything else is that they're taking the destination filter away. Napa, California. Wow, wine country in the house. Lorenzo Wilt is in the house. Hombre says, I don't like it what they did with the destination. I'm with you on that. How hot is it there? It is now 90. And we got all the, we got some action here. Maybe they're bringing the injured players to the hospital. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? It's hot though. I'm in Inglewood. I'm in Inglewood in the house. Ooh, guys, I got a treat for you. Hey girls, you're live on YouTube. I love it. Check them out. Woo! Check the ladies out. Yeah, champions. There they go. Literally, look at them with their little G-strings. They got no tops on. California. City of Inglewood in the house. Check them out, man. Got the little G-string, and they're not shy with the little white boots and their woo in the house. There go the little G-string girls with their little peacock feathers. There they are. And fucking wild here, baby. It's wild. Live and die in LA. You know what the funny thing is? The funny thing is I capture the craziest shit. I capture the craziest shit on camera. I am never shy. Never ever shy to get into any situation. I will walk in and start interviewing people and like, WTF, who is this guy? Always try to get the best footage For my subscribers, for you, I brought you guys some G-strings. Thumbs up for the G-string ladies. Come on, let's do it. Maybe they come back. Maybe the G-string girls come back. If the G-string girls come back, I'm going to jump out the car and go up to them. Watch me. Watch me now, baby. Watch me now. If the G-string girls, in fact, come back this way, I will jump up and tell them to give you guys a shout out. Never shy. Never shy. I don't know. It looks like they left, but they might be back. So we have hot lizards. Yeah, there's a lot of lizards running around. Hot lizards now. Just peacocks. Very few hot lizards around here. But hit that like button. Those, I think they said Raiders. Those were Raiders fans. They were dressed in black and they had the white feathers. Those looked like Raider girls. Lost the video. Am I still there? Can you guys see me? Can you hear the sound? Yeah, it's been raining. It's been raining pretty, well, heavily in San Diego. It's not raining up here in LA. That's for sure. Cristiano Ronaldo. Yes, but no video. There is no video? Really? No video? Do we have video now? Do we have video? Do we have video? Can everybody see the video? Is the audio and video? Maybe I need to crank up the... No video. Ha! How does that happen? No video. Video killed the radio star. Flip your camera. Orientation is locked. I'm a ghost. No video? Still no video? Like a pluck. Nah, YouTube doesn't censor me. Why would YouTube censor me? Make money. Still not working? Very interesting. Video killed the radio star. 0. That saddens me. Why is there... Oh, it's good now? Back! Guess who's back? Back again. What was going on? Was it Verizon? Was it YouTube? Or was it the G-string girls? All right, amigos, I want your feedback. I want your feedback about these damn unaccompanied minors. I really want some input, ladies and gentlemen. I need some input from my friends, from my subscribers on these unaccompanied minors. What's the score? What's the score in Chargers and Raider Town? B Money in the house. I sent you that Uber surge video last week. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. But 48 people in the house. John says, St. Louis, Missouri in the house. Your videos and advice has improved my ride-sharing experience. I can't believe the games that Lyft plays. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that, John. That makes me happy. That really makes me happy to hear that. Slap chippies. Slap chippies, me bro. Cheeky chops in the house. 17-3 for the Chargers. Commercial break. We are now taking a commercial break. Man, what a long day. What a long day. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I will, the Raider girls are not coming back. Looks like they have left. I'm going to wish you all a happy Sunday. Sunday, bloody Sunday. And have a good one. Have a great week ahead, my friends. I am just getting some cool air on the phone because it's really hot in here. And a shout out to all of you. Have a great Sunday and make the very best of next week. We're 36 people in the house. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Sunday bloodies. Can I get 2 more likes? As if I can get it up to 70, you've made my Sunday. You've made my day. If we can get dos por favor, zwei bitte. To the French, deux s'il vous plaît. To the Dutch, twee alsjeblieft. To the Germans, zwei bitte. To the Spanish, dos por favor. To the English, 2 please. To the French, deux s'il vous plaît. We got 71 in the house. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Have a good one, my friends. And be safe out there. Please be safe and leave us your feedback on the whole minor issue, right? On the whole minor issue. Leave us the feedback. I want your input when it comes to unaccompanied minors. How do you handle them? Please leave that info in the video. And shout out to Buckle. If you haven't checked out, go to buckleup.com. Best rideshare insurance, giving them a little shout out at the end. Huge shout out to legalrideshare.com. They have helped hundreds and hundreds of subscribers in my channel with their legal issues, right? Solid guys. Brian Greening and his crew from Legal Rideshare. If you get into an accident, he goes after them aggressively, right? So shout out to Buckle Up, Rideshare Insurance, Food Delivery Insurance, and shout out to Legal Rideshare for representing all the gig workers. And if you are an Amazon driver, I don't know if you drive for Amazon, but check out amazonaccident.com. They will collect money for you if you've had any injury or accident on Amazon. Factual facts, baby. Have a good one. Thank you very much, and be safe out there, my friends, my amigos. Happy Sunday, everyone. Do not, Kenneth says, I'm going to use Kenneth's famous last words, do not pick up minors. Again, do not pick up minors. Happy Sunday.